Well, greetings class, welcome back. We're in part C and the last of this series of talking about budgets. Understand the budget has four basic elements of a budget. The first element that we're going to talk about is basically where the money comes from. And most of the time in accounting terms and everything, we call that income. Income is money that's coming into the household or business. That's why it's classified as income. Examples of that could be your paycheck, or it could be contracts or sales or revenues from other sources. Element 2 of a budget, what you know you must spend for needs. And remember, we talked about needs and wants before. Everybody has a need list, everybody has a want list. Remember, needs are there for survival, for basically the needs to be able to operate day to day, month to month, year to year. So element 2 is about what you have to spend on your needs. So those are considered expenses. Expenses are money that is going out from the household or business. Okay, the expenses. An example, like we told you in part B, utilities, gas, oil, electricity, telephone, cell phone bill, those things of that nature. We look at element 3, what you have left over for your wants. And remember, everybody has a want list, or some people call it profit. Some people mostly profit or something income able to spend, but money left over that you can use it for things that you want. Okay, and we really consider it profit. In business, we call it profit. And this is what you can do with the monies available. So plans for your future wants, and so now you can start using that money that's available for future that want list. You can address that want list now, right? So you look at things like could be retirement, long-term savings, education, special projects you have. It can be a number of things. Working on upping your emergency account, or rainy day fund. Looking at donating more money to a worthy cause that you have. It could be a number of things that you have. So in element 4 then, it's what you actually earn and spend each month, and that's the fourth element. And that's where the records come in, and that's why records are important. Records are used to help you plan your spending in line with what you actually spend, and so that's the importance of records. It's basically to gather facts, find out what you're doing with your money, and a budget is there as a roadmap to help you funnel those monies into the categories you want to make sure you meet your needs first, and then you can act on your wants. So a good example here would be make a T-square, and we list out all the incomes we have. So our monthly pay, when we tell you that monthly pay will be $2,000, we look at our rent, it can be $1,200. We look at our electricity bill, we figure it's going to be average about $300 a month. We know that our monthly water bill stays pretty much the same as $100, and our monthly cable bill is about $100. By taking that in, we look at our total income, which we know is $2,000 because that's what we've put together. By looking at your total expenses, now you subtract the total expenses from your total income, which will give you your profit or your money that you can now use for other categories or to address your want list. Okay, very simple there. That's how a budget is kind of set up. Of course, simple setting it up. Following it sometimes is an issue with some people. But what you're going to do with today on that, on your project, you're going to be putting together, you're going to plan and analyze a budget. What we're going to do is give you a problem here to do that, and that's attached to your checklist for this module. Richard and Janie Cardew have been married for 5 years. The past 5 years of gross income has been around $85,500. This was Rich and Janie's both working full-time jobs, so they're working full-time jobs and put their income together. Okay, each has a 3-week paid vacation, which is paid during their vacation time. So pretty much they don't have any gaps there, right? So we know that they're got paychecks coming in consistently, probably every 2 weeks or once a month, depending on how their employer pays them. Janie earns a salary of $45,000 with no insurance or retirement plan. She was told that she will get a 7.2 raise in pay this year. So there's a change that you're going to have to adjust in your budget problem. Okay, Rich earned a salary of $40,500 this year, but with insurance and retirement, he adds Janie to his insurance plan, but they must pay an insurance premium, which been told that his salary will drop 5%. So there's another change you're going to have to adjust, the 5% change in Rich's amount, because he's going to put Janie on his insurance plan. Okay. So as you work through the budget this year, you're going to anticipate the following changes in this budget. First of all, fuel cost has gone up 50%, so you're going to have to adjust the fuel cost that was paid last year by 50%, which means you're going to anticipate a 50% increase. Food prices will increase 7.5%. Your electric and water both will expect to be at 3.8 increased. Auto insurance will increase by 4.3%. Your health insurance premium is going to increase by 12.8% with a $500 deductible. Now the deductible, depending on how you want to handle it, you can open up a different category account and put it in there, or you can believe it's part of your rainy day fund or part of savings plan, or you have a category which they do that you may just decide that you've got to figure where you're going to focus that money and how you can put that money in there, and you may just decide to do it monthly or all together. It depends. But you're the one that's putting this together, okay, with this information. I need to address a math rule because that seems to be a problem that some people forget about the math about making these changes. But the basic math rule about percent is this: that when you drop the percent sign, when you're working with percentages, you drop the percent sign and you add a decimal 2 places to the left. So, for example, if it's 25%, you would convert that by dropping the percent sign and moving the decimal place 2 places to the left, making it 0.25. You take that, whatever the figure is that you're going to adjust on, $1,000 times 0.25 will equal $250. That's how you figure percent for a kind of review on percentages. And for some reason, that's number one problem people have with budgets is forgetting how to do the percent. So, other information they have on the house, that the house needs painted this year. They have an option of doing it themselves or hiring it done. I have made that choice for you, that they decide to paint it themselves, and it's going to cost them $2,000. So you need to make a note of that, because I didn't make a note for that in the thing, but I'm figuring that you're going to hear this and know that make a note it's going to be $2,000. Something to keep in mind when you're deciding this, when you do your own. The reason why that choice is there is because sometimes you have to decide if it's worth you doing it or not. It may have been easier to hire it done because they'll have it done in a number of days, versus when you do it, you have to take your weekends, you have to rent different types of equipment, you got to buy the paint, so you have to take that in consideration. For this problem, we're going to say that they've decided that they're going to do it, and it's going to cost them $2,000. Okay, kind of a trick. If you didn't listen to this, that's going to be the catch, that I know that you didn't listen to it. Okay, so $2,000 to do the painting. Okay, and they decided to do it themselves. So the savings and investment goals, these are goals that they have to address, they want to address, so that these are things that you're going to make sure they meet when you prepare this budget for them. They have $8,201 in their savings, and what they want by the end of the year, a minimum of $10,000. Now that's a minimum. You can have more if you want, but you got to hit that $10,000 mark, and you've got to figure a way how you're going to do that each month to make sure they hit that. In their retirement plan, the IRA retirement plan, they have $27,500, and they want to have a minimum of $30,000 in it. Now that's a minimum. You can go over that if you can figure a way to do that. That's up to you, but these are minimums you have to hit. And the idea here is that there have minimums here. I want you to work these plans. I want you to analyze and see what you can do more with it. I don't expect you to go through here and just put down exactly just what they had last year and do that and be done with it. You're going to make some adjustments on it the way you see that you could do it to make it better for them. These are minimums they have to meet. Okay. Janie and Rich both have one credit card with a balance of 0 on it, so you don't have to worry about that problem, right? They both committed at the beginning of their marriage not to have credit card debt and only use it for making hotel and car reservations. Okay, that's a good rule to have when you get married, right? If they do use the credit card, they agree that all balances will be paid in full by 30 days or sooner, and any charges they make will come out of their own allowance. So you're going to find out in this one, they provide allowance for each other. That in any budgets, you want to make it so flexible so that you, especially if you're in a partnership, that you want to be able to have flexibility, that you can spend money in areas that you can without you having to account for everything. Allowance is a good place to do that. You may make allowances for that to happen. and you'll see that when you read through that and the money and the budget they had from last year. Okay, that problem is attached to your LM9 checklist. Okay, you'll need to plan, analyze, and prepare a new budget for Rich and Janie. Understand that the budget must be balanced. Okay, and you have to meet all of Rich and Janie's requests in the budget. Now, when we say balanced budget, what we're saying is zero money is left over. That means all money has a place to go. That's what it means. So even if, say, after you've done all your great analyze it and you plan and do all that, and you have like $550 left over, that's fine. But that $550 want to be put someplace so that it comes up zero. So you may want to put some into allowances, you may want to put more into savings, you may want to change something around that you do that. Okay, so those are things that you're going to work with when you put that together. Okay, and an idea that we give you the basis here. We want you to plan, we want you to analyze the budget, and we want to make it feel more like your budget. Okay, don't be scared to cut something out or change something. You can do all that. Just make sure that those parameters that we set for you, that you meet that. Okay, remember the house, they decided to paint the house themselves for $2,000. Okay, if that's going to be the end, make sure you complete the budget problem attached to the LM9 checklist, and you'll submit that, and that will be what you'll do for this particular point. Okay, well, have a good problem with your budget, solving your budget problem there, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.